welcome. Video number 1 is here. I'm so pleased that you have come to join me. Again, I am Leonee Parker, holistic nutritionist and personal trainer in New Zealand. And this is your first video of 3 to take you through the things you must have in order and must have in your life to lose weight forever. Okay, so if you watched the little video that I put out before, I explained a little bit more about me and what I do, what I've done for the past 6 years. I now have the freedom to go worldwide and help whoever, okay? Well, I shouldn't say whoever, only women who are absolutely serious about losing weight forever, and they are at their wits' end. They would do anything to get there, and they want the truth, they want someone to trust, okay? So, I'm sure you are very eager to know what is the number 1 thing you must have in your life to lose weight forever. I'm sure that you are just dying to know, because you thought that it was probably a combination of nutrition and exercise, right? Wrong. Of course, those 2 components are very important. There's something that you are missing though, a big thing you are missing. So I'm going to write it on the board to keep you guessing, okay? And then we're going to dive right in. Okay, who can see this? Mindset. Okay, that is the number 1 thing you have to have knowledge of and be practicing in your life to achieve forever weight loss. Okay? Our minds are powerful things. Our minds control everything in our body. If we don't have our mind on board our weight loss journey, our body isn't going to be able to do it alone at all. And that is probably where I reckon 90% of people go wrong when they're trying to lose weight, okay? They dive in, they do all the right things. They end up falling off the wagon because their mind isn't in it. They end up finding things that are more important because their mind isn't in it. They end up sabotaging themselves again because their mind isn't in it. So I'm going to teach you a few things to get your mind on board and start your journey again, maybe for the 10th time, but this time will be the last time if you practice everything I teach you, okay? So, mindset. The first thing I want to jump into is looking out, just taking some notes here so I don't forget any of the really essential points that I want to go over. So the first thing to look into is establishing the way that you currently think, okay? So what I mean by that is, are you someone who thinks that life has brought you a lot of shortcomings? You really do have it pretty tough. Things have happened in your life that have made your life really not that easy, and you feel pretty sorry for yourself. Although you may act very strong on the outside, on the inside you hate a lot about life. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the first part of mindset, okay? So it is about how you think. So, are you someone who is generally really happy? You make choices that affect your future. You realise that the things that you have in your life now are because of choices you made in the past. You're a pretty positive person. You know, nothing really phases you. You do have your down moments, of course. Positivity comes with a bit of negativity. We can't just have one, can we? We're not programmed like that. But generally, you're a pretty happy person. You're probably 90% of the time you're happy. Okay, so that's one end of the scale. The other end of the scale is you'll feel pretty down a lot of the time, even though you do. Everyone has nice things in their lives, things that they can be grateful for, but generally you feel like you've had it pretty tough. And I'm not saying you haven't, probably have, but you definitely feel like you've had it pretty tough. You feel like life has thrown you many challenges, which makes it pretty hard to really be happy. Okay, so you're either at that end or at that end or somewhere in the middle. Now, if you're at this end, the happy person end, you make your own choices, you decide what happens in your life. These 3 videos are really going to help you a lot. They're going to enforce basically what you already know, but just give you some direction. If you're at this end, you're probably going to be surprised by a lot of stuff I talk about. You possibly never heard it before, but it will make a tremendous difference to your life. Okay, so wherever you are on that scale, these videos are going to really help, particularly this one, so pay a lot of attention. Now, back to the thinking thing. So where you are on the thinking thing, the next part to that is you basically need to change the way you think, okay? And this is where we're going to start to get into some action stuff on the board. So if you're at this end of the scale, you probably already do what I'm about to talk about. If you're at the other end, you definitely won't. So how do you change these negative thought patterns that keep on coming into your life? Now you'll notice I haven't mentioned weight loss yet. A lot of women use their weight problem as an excuse to be unhappy. They feel like that is the reason they are unhappy. I guarantee that that is not the reason. There's a reason that's deeper. The reason you're not unhappy is because you don't like yourself or you don't love yourself for whatever reason. Something that's happened in your life. You just don't love yourself or like yourself, because if you think of it this way, if you loved yourself and had total respect for yourself, you would be pretty healthy, right? You would give your body all the nutrients it needs. You would do what you're meant to do to take care of yourself, okay? You haven't done that. So there's something within that is holding you back, that is basically making you put your problems on your weight, when really it goes deeper than that. So you need to discover what that is, and you need to come to terms with it. You need to throw it away. Whatever makes you not like yourself, you need to throw it away. I'll give you some tools to help with that in a second. Okay, if that's not you at all, it could just be that you really need some proper guidance. A health professional actually encourages healthy weight loss rather than quick fix dieting. So again, you're going to get a lot out of this video series. So to change the way you think, I've put down 3. So 3 things you need to do, okay? So your brain's always in that negative cycle, going round and round, always feeling sorry for yourself, always, everything bad that happens to you is a huge deal. You just think, here we go again, this is just not fair, okay? If that is you, number 1 thing I want you to start doing, being grateful. Now, if you can't see my writing on the board, I'm going to, once I edit the video, I'll pop it up there, okay? So, being grateful. So, at the moment, I guarantee you have at least a few things in your life that are amazing, okay? Could be your children, it could be your health. Have a think about it. Everyone has things in their lives that are amazing, okay? I guarantee if you're really in that negative cycle at the moment, your weight's taking over, you're really down, you are not at all thinking about those things that you're really fortunate to have. Guarantee you're not, okay? What I want you to start doing is writing down on a daily basis all the things you are grateful to have in your life, okay? So, beautiful, healthy children, your own health, really get deep into it. As soon as you start to write that down every single morning, you will start to change your thought process from thinking, poor me, everything is happening to me, my life is really crap at the moment. You'll start to instantly switch, and you'll start to go, oh, well, hey, look, I'm focusing on these things which are actually really good in my life rather than focusing on the bad, okay? Does that make sense? If it doesn't, make sure you leave me a message. But basically it is switching your thought pattern, okay? So being grateful. Now doing this every morning enforces it in your head. Any new habit we need to start, you need to be doing it actively daily, okay? So every day write it down. If you really hate writing, sit there in a quiet room and really think about it, okay? And you know you're doing it right if when you're writing it or when you're thinking about the things you're grateful for, you start to feel slightly happy. Maybe a smile comes on your face, you feel some good emotions rushing through you. Number 1 thing to start doing to switch that thought pattern. Okay, next thing is, which I touched on before, you need to figure out why exactly you don't like yourself. happened in your past that makes you not like or respect yourself. It could be somebody else's opinion that has been thrown at you for years. It could be something that you've always blamed yourself for, perhaps as a child, or something happened when you were younger and you've always blamed yourself, and maybe other people have always blamed you. It could be a number of things, okay? I'm not going to dive really deep into that. You should know what it is. If you really think about it, again, writing is a really good way to figure this out, okay? Figure out why you don't like yourself. Now with this, you may not consciously feel like you don't like yourself. You may think, no, but I do like myself. Do you really though? Think down deeply. What do you tell yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Okay, that's a good way to determine it. I guarantee that if you are really struggling with weight and you feel like you are just at your wit's end and you feel like your weight is the thing that's making you unhappy, there will be some kind of dislike for yourself within. Okay, so starting to love yourself, starting to like yourself, and eventually loving yourself means that you don't need acceptance from anyone else. Everyone else's opinions don't matter to you anymore, okay, because you're happy with the person you are. You don't go and try and seek love and connection from people who don't deserve your time, okay? Often people that don't respect themselves or love themselves are constantly trying to find love and connection from people that just aren't serving them at all. Those two things, I could go in deeper again, but those two things, you really will feel a massive change. I mean, as soon as you don't give two craps what people think about you, and as soon as you're not trying to find love and connection from people who are not serving you in your life, imagine how much happier your life would be instantly. Okay, there'd be so many more things you would do because you don't care anymore. It's just about you and just about the people you love that are close to you. Okay, so find out why you don't like yourself. Okay, now this might involve some writing. It might be trying to figure out, really using your brain and trying to figure out why in the past, or when in the past I should say, you started to have these thoughts. As little girls, we have so much pressure put on us. We're brought up with our parents and people around us saying, oh, you look so beautiful, and that our parents wanting to dress us in things that make us look girly and cute and pretty, whereas boys are generally brought up with the whole strong thing, oh, you look strong, it's very driven into us from a very young age. And of course most little girls, they enjoy that kind of thing, they love girly stuff. But I think that so many young girls grow up thinking that they have to be perfect and having such body problems because it's infused in their brain from such a young age, whereas boys don't have that. So your problem could go back to then, when you just are always striving for perfection. Again, have a think about it. I'm not going to go too deep into this because the video will go forever, but have a think about it and really dive in deep. Get writing. It is the best way to find out things about yourself, okay? Get a journal, start writing, okay? Now, from that, so you're being grateful, I want you to start writing down from why you don't like yourself, what you do like about yourself. So again, this is just like the grateful thing, this is switching. So you're focusing before on what you don't like about yourself. You're switching now and you're going to say what you do like about yourself. Now be honest, it's only yourself that needs to see this. So it might be that you've always really loved your eyes. You think you've got awesome eyes, you wouldn't trade them. It might be that you think you've got great legs. It might not be something physical, it might be something, you think that you're a really caring person and you've got a great personality, people get along with you. Try and find at least 5, try and go 10 if you can, but try and find at least 5. Everyone has things they like about themselves. And depending how far you are on that scale, if you're right down the end, you might be thinking, I can't think of one thing. Keep practicing, okay? Every morning you need to write down some things you really love about yourself, okay? Eventually it'll get easier and eventually you'll find new things that you love about yourself. Now I'll tell you what will start happening there. Say you hate your stomach, you think your stomach's gross, every day you think about it. When you see yourself in your stomach in the mirror, you think, oh my gosh, I'm disgusting, blah blah blah. all these negative, horrible things you're saying to yourself, if every morning you're writing down what you love about yourself, say it's your legs, so you love your legs, that switch of mind is starting to happen very regularly every day. And when you look in the mirror, you all of a sudden don't really focus on your stomach. You see your legs and go, oh wow, they look great. Okay, you get where I'm trying to go with this? So you're switching those thoughts. Now it is easy as clicking your finger. You've got to practice. As easy as clicking your finger though. You need to learn how to control your thoughts. At the moment they are in such a habit that they are just skimming along without even thinking about it. So to break those thoughts, you need to actively do it. You need to actively write, you need to actively think of breaking those thoughts. Okay, so when you see yourself looking in the mirror and you say, oh my God, I hate my stomach, go, oh, but my legs are amazing. Focus on that, leave it at that. Okay, it's really as easy as doing that. Okay, so you're figuring out off that one what you do love about yourself. So we're changing our thought patterns. Now the last one, I basically just talked about it now, is changing your habits. Touched on it, I should say. Okay, so breaking your habits. So at the moment, what in your life is not serving you? Every Saturday night you go to the movies, or you say you get out a movie with your husband, your partner, whoever, you just go and have a big binge. So you go to the supermarket, you get fish and chips or whatever, you get lollies, you get everything under the sun, and you go home, you nest in your little cave, you watch the movie and you stuff your face. Hey, we've all been there, well, maybe not all of us, but I certainly have. Okay, that's not serving you. It may feel good at the time, but wouldn't it feel better if you didn't do that, and instead you went out for a walk with your partner and you got some exercise, you got the blood flowing, you did something that in the long term is going to make you feel so good. In the long term it serves you. Okay, so breaking those habits. Now usually you need to get people on board to help you with this, because if you live in a family where that is the thing they do together, being women and mothers, who are the normal women that I work with, you will start to feel bad that you are changing things your family loves, okay? And if you're anything like me and the other woman I work with, you will always put other people before yourself, other people before your needs. So you need to convince yourself, you need to teach yourself that no, that is not good for your family and not good for you. So you need to get them on board with you and say, instead we're going to start going for a bike ride. Instead we're going to do this instead. Instead we're going to cook up some amazing real food pizzas together. Okay, instead of going down that track that at the time, yes it feels good, later and well, you know, straight after, I know I don't feel good, straight after you generally don't feel good, and years to come and you're still doing that, where are you then? Okay, you're heavily overweight, you're incredibly unhappy, your children are overweight as well, things aren't good, okay? So look at your life, what currently you are doing in your life is not serving you, okay? What could you change in your life now to make your future so much better, and not just your future, but make tomorrow better? What can you eliminate right now? Now, any habit is going to be hard to kick, of course it's going to be hard to kick, but the easiest way to do it is to replace it with another habit, I believe, okay? So replace it with another habit that you get addicted to, that you really enjoy, okay? So for me, personally, I love eating healthy food. I love the feeling whole, real food has within my body. It makes me feel so good. I love seeing my children eat really good food. Of course, I love exercising as well. I haven't always been really into whole food. I used to love takeaways and things like that as well when I was a bit younger, but I had to change that habit. I just stop that from happening in my life because it was not serving me, and I replaced it with a love for cooking real food, experimenting, things like that. Okay, so we're going to touch on emotions, okay? So humans are charged by emotions, okay? What you were doing on your Saturday night, the binge eating with the movie, there will be some kind of emotional pull towards that, okay? So it might be that you get love and connection with your partner. There is a huge amount of comfort in it. It's pretty exciting as well because you're trying new foods. You're doing what you feel makes you happy at the time, right? Okay, you've got emotions pulling you towards that. It's going to be harder and harder to break if you don't feel those emotions with something else, okay? And that is totally up to you. You can do that. You need to find something that will replace the love connection emotion, replace the comfort, replace the excitement. There's a few more that possibly get satisfied with your TV and binging. Replacing those emotions, taking a level up in your life, so stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping up into another level. That will really help. Currently you are down here where it's comfortable, where it's safe. Throw yourself out there, jump up another level, feel all those emotions that are driving you towards doing the things that are not serving you in your life, and you will be well on your way, okay? Now again, if none of this made sense to you, if you'd like more of an explanation, please just leave me some comments and I can explain further for you. So this is the first part of mindset, okay? And this is going over how to switch your current thinking. Your current thinking, which is, like I said, there's the scale, the positive people, this is going to help you a lot as well. The negative people, it's going to help you tremendously, okay? You may not realise you're negative, but think about what you say to yourself. Okay, so being grateful, working out why you don't like yourself, okay? Work it out, figure it out, get writing. Work out what you do love about yourself. Write grateful and what you do love about yourself on a daily basis every morning when you get out of bed. Breaking those habits which have emotional pulls to them, okay? Replacing them, okay? Making yourself step up another level in life, okay? Throw yourself out of that comfort, okay? The comfort that's keeping you there because you can't be bothered basically taking the plunge, okay? Get yourself out of that. Throw yourself into new things. Do something that you never thought you could do, but you're just going to do it, okay? You only live once, and you do not want to be thinking about your weight for the rest of your life and letting it control your life, okay? So take these on board. Now I'm going to get into the next part of mindset, which is getting clear. Okay, here we are into part 2 of mindset, okay? So we covered the thinking part before, which is the most essential, crucial part that you have to get right. This next part is something that people miss a lot as well, okay? So it is getting clear, 100% clear on why you want to lose weight, okay? 100% clear. Now, think back in the past, have you ever done this before? If you haven't, then you wouldn't have had a clean track to go down. You would have just been kind of seeing how it goes, basically. Okay, so the first thing you need to ask yourself is what? I'm going to go nice and big so you can see it. So what is it that you want exactly? So you can't just say, I want to lose weight. That's really not going to register in your mind. Other things are going to come important, are going to come in front of you and become much more important very quickly. Okay, so you can't just say that. That's too surface level. Of course you want to lose weight, but what do you really want, okay? So for example, you want to get down to a size 12, or you want to feel really, really good in a bathing suit, in a bikini. Or you think that Jennifer Anderson looks amazing and you want to have a body that looks very much like her. So there might be either a size that you're going by, or there might be a clothing item like a bikini that you want to fit in. There might be a star that you look at and you go, wow, she's got a similar body type to me, but I would love to be as toned and as sexy looking as her. Okay, so you need to really go deep with that and really think about exactly what you want. Now try and avoid saying I want to be 60 kgs or based on a weight, because the truth to that is just, there is no truth to that, okay? It's basically like when you're at the supermarket, you take a bag of almonds, you put it in your trolley with all the other stuff as well, and then you weigh your trolley. Okay, that's basically what weighing your trolley to get the weight of the almonds, I should say. So that's basically what weighing yourself does. So remember, you've got bones, you've got blood, we're made up of 75% water basically, so fat is just a small portion of what you're weighing. Okay, so it's really, I believe that when you get on the scales, all it's doing is just putting you down, okay, and it's really not setting you up for a healthy path. Okay, so try and avoid doing that. Instead, measurements are a really good way to go, okay, so even if you have a piece of string, do your stomach, do your legs, wherever else you're trying to lose weight, and use that as a measure. Photos are probably the best thing you can do, so take a photo just in your underwear and compare it, okay, it's the best way to do it, and of course just how you feel. How you feel is probably the best indicator, I believe, just because if you're getting healthier, you're going to feel better, aren't you, and you're going to start to love yourself more and everything's going to fall into place. Okay, so what exactly do you want? You should get out a pen and a paper and start to really look into this now, okay? If you haven't done this before, then no wonder you have failed, because you have never been clear. Okay, the next part is when. When do you want it? Okay, so you may be getting married in a year's time or something, and you want to have your ideal body by then. Okay, so having a time frame. Some people don't believe in this because they believe then it's just motivation that's pushing you along, it's not inspiration to really change your life. I believe having a when and having a date is better than not having a date, because if you get there, if you get to your set date and say you're only probably another few months away from achieving your ultimate goal, which is a size 12, I guarantee you would have got a lot further because you had that date coming up. If you didn't have a date coming up, then you would have probably just kept trucking along, pushing it back further, pushing that goal back further until it just eventually came along. So I believe having a when is very important. Okay, so think of a date, a realistic date, and you might want to set some goals along the way. So you might want to say by 2 months' time, this is how I'm going to be feeling. 2 months' time, this is how I'm going to be feeling. Get out a diary or a big poster on your wall and mark out the dates. Mark out when you're going to be achieving things, okay? When. Next thing is how. So, like I said at the start, this can't just be you saying, I'm going to try and eat healthy and I'm going to try and turn up to all my personal training classes, or I'm going to try and go for a run most mornings. Okay, so this needs to be a very detailed plan. So for example, it might be if you've got young children, but the only time of the day that you can really train is early morning at 6 AM when the gym first opens. You need to arrange with your husband, with your mum, with whoever, that they come and they look after the kids, or your husband's there, they look after the kids while you go every morning. Okay, and that's rain or shine, it's never cancelled, that's just part of your life. Okay, and same with your food. You need to just say from this day on, we're just not eating this anymore. Okay, we're eliminating McDonald's from our lives, we'll never have it again. Okay, and for those of you that love McDonald's, really, it's fake food. You're going to find once you start to eat real food, once you start to eat proper food, McDonald's will just taste like absolute cardboard to you. Okay, so eliminate things, like I said in the first part of this, eliminate things that are not serving you, okay? So you need to be very detailed with your how, okay? And again, when it comes to the food, but I'll get into this in nutrition in the next video. With the how, you really need to make sure that you're planned with your food as well. So, for example, I will do a big cook-up every couple of days just so that I've always got stuff in the fridge, and my wee ones always have stuff in the fridge that they can just grab out, and we're never tempted when we're out to just go and grab something convenient, which is never nice anyway, okay? So being overly planned and overly prepared, okay, with your exercise and your food. Now, the most important part to this, and you need to ask yourself this question all the time on a daily basis, is why. Okay, so why do you want to be a size 12? Think about that now. Why do you want to be looking good in a bikini or looking amazing in a bikini. Now you might be having some surface reasons here. You might say, because I want to be able to go out, I want to just be able to buy whatever I want at the shops. Okay, good enough reason, but really is it good enough to turn your whole life upside down? Do you think that that reason will hold up when the going gets tough, the kids are sick, you cannot be bothered going to the gym, you're sick of your food? Do you really think that reason will hold up? I don't know if it will. I don't know if it's solid enough to really push all those things away and turn everything upside down. You need to keep going deeper, okay? So how you do that, if your answer was, for example, because I want to look good in clothes, I want to be able to go shopping and buy whatever I want, ask yourself why again, okay? Why again? Why do you want to go and look good in clothes? Why is that important to you? You might say, because I hate going shopping because I always have to buy things that are baggy and that I really don't like, and I love clothes that look good. Okay, and then you'll say, well, why is that important to you? You can literally ask the question why, or you should be asking the question why about 10 times until you have that light bulb moment and you go, oh my goodness, I didn't know that it was for that reason. Okay, so that it's a really deep reason. There is, what I should say is there's a very deep reason as to why you want to lose weight. A very, very deep reason, and usually it's a very emotional reason as well, okay? So it might make you teary when you decide what it is, when you figure out what it is. And it may be something you've never really thought about before. It may be something you know, the reason why you really want to lose weight, you know what it is, but you've never been honest with yourself about it. Okay, so peel back those layers and really find out. And the reason that's important is because when you find out that, and when you're clear to yourself about the real reason, the real deep reason you want to lose weight, it's really easy to turn everything upside down, because that reason you would do absolutely anything for, okay? You would give up your whole life just to have that thing satisfied, okay? So, like I said, being able to go into a shop and buy any clothes you want, that's probably not a good enough reason, is it? Well, I should say good enough. It's a good enough reason, but it's not a deep emotional reason. Okay, so find that reason.